Good morning and happy Tuesday. It is Talk to Me Tuesday, so that means I will be here twice today. And while I normally have Brad on my show on Tuesdays, today I will be just all by myself. Ooh, cats. Anywho, I'll be by myself because I'm focused on supporting you guys since I will be out of the office on Thursday and Friday. So I want to make sure I offer you as much possible support as I can in the meantime. Now, while I'm waiting for my chat to pop up, let me just remind you that my name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. Excuse me, a little tickle. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and we'll get going. All right, everybody, let's see who we've got here. We have Mr. Tommy D. He says, "Good morning, Ange. Morning, Tommy D. How you doing, my friend?" Malta says, "Good morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Angie Atkinson," and offers advice for those who may be experiencing technical difficulties. Good morning, my friend. How are you? Renee Goodell in the house says, "Good morning. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Angie Wheeler. Hello, hello." Travis Durham says, "Hey, hey, family. How you doing, Travis?" Travis has an awesome voice, you guys. You should hear him. He's over on the Better Men channel if you're interested. Andrea Christensen in the house says, "Good morning. Good morning, Miss Andrea. How are you, my friend? How's your daughter doing? How's everything?" Morgan Kenny is here. Good morning, Morgan, and welcome to our morning chat. Morgan says, "Can you talk a little about going into a relationship after a narcissist?" Absolutely, I can. So let's talk about that. One of the things that I think is most important is that you spend the time that you need to spend healing first. Okay. So for me, that it took about a year, and I kind of gauged my timing based on I decided that I would not date anyone until I was legally divorced. And I think the divorce took 9 months. I waited another 3 months before I was ready. And then I kind of dated around, and I didn't really get very serious with someone until I guess about 2 years later. I dated someone for 9 months, and then I stopped dating that person. And then I don't know, a year later, met my current husband. Now, one of the things that the reason I say you need to heal first, and Morgan, if you have specific questions, please throw them in the chat and I'll try to answer those as well. But one of the reasons I say you have to heal first is because if you don't, even if you end up with a really great person, chances are that you might mess it up. And I know that sounds funny, but um, because the fact is that if you aren't fully healed, you're going to have triggers, little things. One of my clients is a doctor, and she is amazing and gorgeous and everything else. And she, happened to meet the right guy shortly after her relationship ended. And even though they're making it and it's getting along and the guy is amazing, she has her moments where she's triggered. And if the guy wasn't so understanding and amazing, chances are it wouldn't be working out. So I guess my point is that if you don't heal yourself first, you put yourself at risk of either ending up with another narcissist or of ending up with someone who is decent, but you're not ready for them. And so you kind of mess up the relationship. So the best thing to do is make sure that you're fully aware, you're healed, you understand exactly what you don't want and what you do want. One of the things I did literally 2 weeks before I met my husband is I sat down and I wrote a list of all the qualities that I wanted in a person. Now, in my case, I didn't really include physical qualities. I included the way I wanted him to behave. I wanted him to be into me in certain ways, and I wanted him to, challenge me. Oh boy, does he. I wanted it to be, I wrote it all down. He will be this, he will be that, blah, 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 blah. And literally, and then I put it out there to the universe and I intended it. And I, within 2 weeks, met the man that I would later marry and have two more children with. And we now are relatively heavily married. I mean, marriages work no matter how good the person is. You have to, we've been together 15 years now, and you must put the work in, but you have to be healed in order to do that. You have to be able to sort of find yourself in the process. Do you know what I mean? All right, Morgan, let me know if you have additional questions. Good morning, Arlene. She says, "Happy day, everybody." Malta says, "Good morning to myself and everyone." Good morning again, Malta. And Mr. Meyer is here. Hey, Mr. Meyer. She says, "Love from London, 3:47 p.m. here." Right on. Good afternoon to you, my friend. Maura DeLuca in the house says, "Hey, hey, 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 Maura, how you doing, honey?" And Emily Dirtwood says, "Hey, girl, hey." Hey, Emily, how you doing, honey? Let me see what else Emily says here. I lost my spot in the chat, freaking chat, I tell you. All right, let me just see if I can arrow down. That'll be better. Okay. Emily Driftwood, hey, good, hey, hey, girl, hey. How are you doing, everyone? Are you doing well? Yes, I'm doing well, and I hope everyone else is doing well as well today. Um, I thought I was getting sick yesterday. I think I'm doing better today. So that's a plus. Yes, indeed. Oh, Mr. Meyer says left the NARC and moved out last Sunday. Congratulations, my friend. How are you doing? Are you making it? Are you feeling stressed out? What's going on for you? Nicole Blotnicki is back. Welcome back, Nicole. How are you, my friend? Says good morning. Good morning, Dana Lobig, and welcome. Ashley Thrasher is back. She said, what's Gucci, fam? Hey, Ashley. Hector Ramos is here. Good morning. Morning, Hector. How are you? Shannon O'Brien says, hello, peeps. Welcome back, Miss Shannon. How are you, my friend? Mr. Meyer says, I wouldn't have made that without you. I'm so proud of you. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling strong? How are you feeling? And congratulations again. Are you going no contact? Andrea Christensen says, she had court yesterday. She's upset they didn't allow her to come home. Another court date in 2 weeks. Oh, I totally understand that feeling. But 2 weeks is not forever, so that's a good sign. Are you guys working? Do you expect her to come home in 2 weeks? What did they say? God's Girl 7007 is here, says good morning. Good morning, God's Girl. How you doing? Travis Durham has a big heart for everybody. Hi, Travis. Renee Goodell says surgery day tomorrow. Oh, Renee, how are you feeling? Are you feeling strong? Are you feeling ready? Let us know. I'm glad to see you here today, honey. Tommy D says, so after meeting my ex-N face-to-face last week and agreeing to cut all ties, she texted me this morning and said she just can't. Of course she can't. Tommy, she wants you to be her supply, honey. That's it. And you know this man. you know, I hope that you're considering blocking her on your phone. You guys don't have kids together, right? Let me know. I'm pretty sure you told me that you don't. So what are the chances? What are the chances of you blocking her and not dealing with her at all? Bonnie is here. She says, good morning, tribe. Good morning, Miss Bonnie, and welcome back. How are you feeling today? How's everything going? Shannon Davis says, good morning. Almost 2 weeks post-divorce. Post-divorce, congratulations. Feeling free, but still a little difficult. I know it would be much better if kids were not involved. Certainly. So, I mean, if anyone is in a situation where they're with a narcissist and they don't have kids yet, definitely better without kids involved, keep it in mind. My ex really did a number on my kid. Basically, he did the disappearing act, which in some ways probably was better for him, and in other ways, maybe not. So it can't change it now, though, so can't dwell on it. But in many ways, it did make life easier while he was growing up to a point. So it is what it is. Let's see here. Shannon O'Brien says, Thanksgiving. I'm hoping there will not be another hoovering attempt. Certainly. We will be doing Thanksgiving in our home this year. We did it last year and the year before. Well, I don't know. We did it last year and it was good. So we're doing it again this year. I will be ordering all of the trimmings today so that we can do our cooking on Thursday. Yeah. Stacy the Sparkling Star is here. Hey, Stacy, what's your question? I'm good. How are you? And Amanda Bam is here. Hey, Amanda, good morning and welcome. She says, good morning, everybody. Glad to be here. Glad to have you, my friend. Morgan Kenny says, thank you. My pleasure. Malta McMurtry says, I'm well, Angie, and I have my coffee. I hope you're well. I am. And I just finished my coffee. Morgan Freedom Lee is here. Hey, Freedom Lee says, good morning, Angie and Survivors. Good morning, honey. How you doing? What's going on? How you feeling? I haven't seen you in a minute. I feel like. Rose Hargrove says, good morning, Angie. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for all you do. My pleasure, Rose. Big hugs and love to you, my friend. And I like the pumpkins and the hearts. Those are super cute. How are you feeling? How's school going? How's everything? Ashley Thrasher says, need someone to smack my hand when I go lurking on the narc social media. Ashley, honey, I feel you. I'll tell you what, the best thing you could possibly do is block that person so you can't look at them. If you block them, you will automatically unfriend them, and then you'll automatically not see them unless you would make a special effort to do so. I know it's hard to do it, but I think it's worth it. Just think about it. Stacy the Sparkling Star also has her coffee. Awesome. Good morning, Nadia. How are you? Nadia Syed is back, everybody. Talk to me, girl. Tell me what's going on with you. Fill me in. I haven't heard from you in a while. Last time I heard, I think you were dealing with your ex and his trying to have your daughter alone or something for visits, or and I remember you were not trying to allow that to happen, and the judge agreed with you, I think, and you were dealing with the FaceTime calls and things like that. Is that right? Let me know what's going on with you. I missed you. How are you doing, honey? Shannon O'Brien says, we heard through my uncle, Ma's brother-in-law, that Ma was scheduled to move to assisted living on November 15th. We hope she did. I think I need to ask hubby to drive by and see if her outdoor decorations are gone. That's actually a really great idea. And I hope for her sake and yours that she did, because that would certainly make your life a lot less stressful, wouldn't it? And I know you guys were working on moving her before, but then she kind of flaked out on you, right? Keep me posted. Let me know if that works. And I'm sure your husband wouldn't mind driving by to check on it. That would be good information. Tommy D says, nice pumpkins, Rosie. Tommy. Shannon O'Brien says to Stacy, hello, Stacy. Angie L is here. Hey, girl. Hey, welcome back. She says, good morning, Angie and Spanily. Just listening today, wishing all a happy Thanksgiving across the miles. Remember to radiate peace, love, and happiness. I love that, Angie L. Thank you, my love, and thank you for being here. I always appreciate seeing you. Stacy, the sparkling star, says, sending love to all of you from narcissistic parents, ex-friends, ex-partners, you name it. Currently in a situation with my dad. Love from Canada. Stacy, what's going on with you? Tell me your question, honey. Let's see here. What is the situation with your dad? Andrea says she's still in watch every 5 minutes. I'm worried about her indifference for the victims that were affected by her, or whether her actions were what caused this or not. Oh, sweetie, I totally feel you. And you know what? Um, it is scary. You have to remember that her indifference could be disassociation. I know that she was affected by your ex pretty significantly, I'm sure. And disassociation causes us to kind of act like we don't care about stuff, because it's the only way we can sort of survive really serious emotions when we have not been allowed to have serious emotions sometimes. You feel me? So it's possible that she's struggling with that. Have you spoken to her doctors? Does she have doctors? What's going on with that? Or what's her situation? I hope she has doctors. Nicole Blatnicki says, you're right, Angie, I'm having triggers too. I'm so sorry to hear that. And I did not get a chance to finish my video yesterday that I'm working on, but you might want to catch it today, Nicole. It's going to be regarding pattern interrupt and how to use that to deal with triggers and things like that. So stay tuned for that later today. Emily Driftwood says, I'm feeling like a lot like being at home lately. I'm a total recluse, but in a cozy way. I lit candles and watched the snowfall, charging my batteries. I need it a lot lately. It feels good. I absolutely relate to that feeling. I still today need those times. And I still today need to sort of sometimes be a little bit of a recluse up to a point. And part of it is just because I work a lot, but part of it is also other things. You know what I mean? Like the idea of not the idea of not having to deal with a lot of energy of other people, because it becomes overwhelming at times. It's normal and it's okay, and I'm proud of you for allowing yourself that coziness that you need in order to start to recharge your batteries. It's definitely a good thing, Emily. Good job. All right. Bonnie says narcs become all past obsessed at major holidays, don't they? She says, beware, they suddenly think all is well because it's the holidays. Oh, that's the truth. Yeah. And so you have to watch out for the Hoover on the holidays. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And I should probably do a video on that too, in the next couple days. Ashley Thrasher says the narc mentioned to a new supply that they are the definition of a power couple. She says, okay, it's been like 2 weeks since our last sexual engagement. She used to tell me that too. Yeah, that's so common. And, this is actually probably an effort to hurt, you know, you more than anything. If you're aware of that mention, you know what I mean? Certainly, they are obviously not the definition of a power couple if 2 weeks ago y'all were having sex. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Nadia Syed says, okay, can you make a series of healing videos? Yes. I know you have some, but that is my worry. How to heal, especially if you have a kid, makes it harder to make that time to heal. You're absolutely right. And absolutely, I will be working on that. Yes. Thank you so much. Jacob Lucero is here. Hey, Jacob, welcome, welcome. Jacob says, love the show. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you. Tommy D says, Ashley, I had to get off Facebook so I could stop tormenting myself by looking at my ex narcissist page. Yeah, whatever you have to do. If that means getting off Facebook for a while, get off Facebook for a while. That's okay. If you can't stand the idea of blocking them, then maybe that's your next best thing. Take it off your phone. Don't change your password or whatever. Just stop looking at it for a while if that will help you. Absolutely. Malta says, good morning, Shannon O'Brien and Angie L. Wait a minute, I lost my place. La 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 la. Hold on, I'm getting back to it. Okay. Do. I'm getting there. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Morgan Kenny says, thank you. Absolutely. Shannon wants to know from Tommy, how's it going? Mo Satcher is back. Hey, Mo Satcher, welcome back. Says, good morning, tribe. Stacy the Sparkling Star says, Bonnie, totally. God's Girl says, I'm experiencing triggers too while talking to a new person. It's hard to discern my pain and what's real red flags. Yeah, and that's the thing that's so difficult is that when you go forward in a relationship or an attempted relationship before you're ready, the triggers are serious. So you have a couple of options. You could wait until you're ready, or you could work on getting through those triggers without serious negative effects. There are different things you can do. One of the things you can do, something that has always been very effective for me, is like a sentence in my head. For example, if I start thinking, oh my gosh, everything's terrible, my whole life is going to end, la la la, then I go, nope, I now cancel that thought and I replace it with this affirmation of my true divine desire. And then I think of something positive that I want in my life. And the reason that that works, I think, in part is because it takes you a second to go, okay, let me remember that sentence. And then I change it to a positive vibration by using that, the statement, and then I come up with something good. So that is one way. Another thing you can do is to move yourself, say, excuse me, I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick, go in the bathroom, splash some water on your face, of course, unless you're wearing makeup, in which case you might want to splash it on your neck or something, or go outside, take a deep breath of fresh air, change your environment for a second, change the way you're thinking and feeling. That helps. Lots of other things I'll explain to you later today in that video. But I think it's real important that you heal before you seriously get very deeply involved with someone else. Just something to consider. Pardon me. Okay. Sasha Bittner says, morning, my first date since the breakup is tomorrow. It has been a little more than a year and my ex has been out of my life in terms of his trying to contact me and me ignoring him. Okay, that's a good thing. Let me see if Sasha has anything else to say. Sasha, excuse me. She said it was only in the last month that I was really ready. See, and that's an important note. I'm not saying everybody needs a year, but I am saying that a year is a pretty good benchmark on time. Sorry, my hand is ringing. Okay. Um, let's see. Stacy the Sparkling Star says it's 10:52 a.m. here in Ontario, Canada. Right on. Well, that was probably about like 15 minutes ago or something. It's 10:05 a.m. here now in St. Louis. Stacy, I don't know what the nod is. Okay. Nadia says, I just also wanted to say that the divorce is finalized and the ex agreed to continue supervised visits for only hours a week, same days as before, because I dropped the order of protection and asking for no money. Well, I understand why you did that. And, it sucks that he's not paying you and he should be paying you. But with that being said, whatever it takes to make sure that your daughter is safe, you know what I mean? So I'm proud of you for that. And I'm glad to hear that the divorce has been finalized. Bonnie says, yes, tons of triggers during major holidays and what the media says our holidays are supposed to look like. Oh my gosh, I know, right? It's very difficult. Sometimes I like to stay away from the media on the holidays. It can be a little overwhelming. But one of the things that we like to do, like around Christmas, we watch like the Christmas Story movie and stuff like that. But it's about spending the time for me with my nuclear family now, and that's what's really important to me at this time. My kids and stuff like that. Bonnie says, yes, tons of triggers. Okay, I got that one. Shannon O'Brien says, hello to Malta. And the more other chats I go to, the more I appreciate how well you moderate that here. Nary a troll seen. Bam, they're gone. I love me some Malta, you guys. I don't know what I would do without him. He is awesome, and I am grateful for Malta every single day. Stacy the Sparkling Star says, "Oh, I'm glad you feel a bit better today, Angie. Thank you, my love." And Malta says, "Good morning, Mo Satcher, Stacy, and Tommy D." Tommy D says, "Hey, Shan, my ex narcissist is hoovering, but I haven't answered back. So, how are you today, darling?" KTV says, "Good afternoon. Welcome, Katie." And Andrea Christensen says, "I'm having issues with trying not to hate the narcissists in my life. I don't want to hate them. I do hate how they have affected me and my kids. I understand completely." And that's a hard thing because you don't want to hate because you don't want that kind of negative energy around yourself. I don't hate my narcissists. I did probably for a while because I needed to in order to move forward. But I have since forgiven them. And Andrea, if you have not officially forgiven them, you may want to write the letter that we've talked about before, where you write down all the feelings you have about them and all the anger you have for them and all of this stuff. And then you may want to at the end of the letter say, "And now I'm forgiving you, not for you, but for myself, because I deserve peace and I don't want this toxic energy in my life. Love, Andrea." Send them only universal love, not actual, but I wouldn't even send the letter. I didn't need to myself. I found that writing it and really feeling it while I was writing it was all I needed to do. They will not give you closure, so why bother to give them closure? You know what I mean? Basically, it's kind of a goodbye letter. Like, it works. I've done it for the few narcissists that have been in my life. It is incredibly effective. Yeah. Yeah. Tommy D says, "Mighty Malta into house." Stacy the Sparkling Star says, "Malta, hello." Um, and Mo Satcher says, "Hey, Angie, I'm starting to wonder if I'm self abandoning. I've been isolating and just not doing well. Is this common?" It is common. And if you're not feeling well about, sometimes we isolate because we need to in order to sort of recharge our batteries. But if you're not doing well, it might be important for you to make the effort to get out a little bit more and go around a few more people and stuff like this. It's more common than you think. We isolate because it's painful sometimes to be around people. We don't know how to, we sort of forget how to deal with people and we forget how to deal with our emotions and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's common. But when you feel that way, it's time for you to and being aware of it is important. So now that you're aware of it, now that you've named it, you know, you can make effort to start doing something different. So if you're struggling with isolation, then make a point of doing something outside of what you normally do. So if you're normally, staying home all day and not leaving the house or only going to work and then coming right back home, make a coffee date with somebody from work or, and I'm not talking about a date. I'm talking about like a platonic friend thing, go out and have coffee or a drink somewhere. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out process. It could be something small. Or, depending on what your circumstances are, join a meetup group where somebody who follows your passion might also be there. Or, like if you're into bowling, join a bowling group or whatever you're into. And start writing about it. And don't forget to focus every day for at least a few minutes on 10 things you're grateful for and 3 things you love about yourself in this process. It is important. And yes, it is common. If you're interested, I can make another video on that. Ashley Thrasher says, "New Supply happens to be a friend of her ex-girlfriend who died while we were together. Now she says her ex-girlfriend set them up." Oh my God. Her ex-girlfriend set them up together. What a giant ass. I agree. What a giant ass. And not in a good way. That's terrible, Ashley. That's just it's the whole, star-crossed or like soulmate crap. And I don't, I think you're right. It's just a ploy, to probably suck in the new supply a little deeper, really. Stacy the Sparkling Star says, "Mo, it's very common. You feel safe when you're alone." And that's true. Um, Malta says, "Good morning, Katie." And Shannon O'Brien. Thank you. Shannon says, Bonnie, hey Bonnie, you are in my thoughts and prayers this Thanksgiving. Yes, indeed. Nicole Blotnicki says, listening every morning since I found this channel has really helped me a lot, even though I still have strong triggers. I totally feel you. And the triggers are difficult, but if you really work through them, you know, understanding is important. It's the thing that you need to overcome, in my opinion. When you're a smart person, some people can just get over it because they don't have the need to understand, maybe, but most intelligent people need to know why. And until we figured out that NPD was a thing and we could figure out the patterns across the board, we may not have had that opportunity. So now we know, and thank goodness for that. We're not crazy. It's not our fault. It's a good thing. Bonnie says to Shannon, thank you. And Ashley says, sorry I'm rambling, but educating myself helped me identify the phase they're in. And there you go. And helped me not lose my shit last night. Exactly. You're not rambling, by the way. You're totally welcome to chat us up here. That's what we're here for, honey. Yeah, but totally, Ashley, that is absolutely what it's all about. And that's just kind of what I just said. Educating yourself helps you identify the phase they're in and helps you not lose your shit. It's true. It's absolutely true. Yeah. Malta says, thank you for joining us, Nicole. And Andrea Christensen says, right now, her maximum sentence could be, oh my gosh, we're going to take a deep breath, locked up until she's 21. Right now, she's 16. Okay. Does it seem like that's what they're leaning toward, Andrea? Do you know yet? I know that, wow, 21, that's rough. I hope that's not the case. I do. And if they do lock her up until she's 21, I hope they keep her in a juvenile facility, because my understanding is those are a lot less harmful than the adult facilities. And I don't really know when it comes to women's facilities if they're different. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're not that easy all the time. Emily Jertwood says, Mo, it's very normal. Do you mean kind of like dissociating, right? It's very normal. She says, I also lost myself somewhat while with the narc. Who is this person who keeps calling me? Okay. She says the trick is eventually to find yourself. You're not alone. That's absolutely true. Yes. Nicole says, thank you, Malta. Renee Goodell says, I'm ready to get this poison out of me. I have a lot of support. I'm so glad, Renee, and I know it's scary, but I want you to stay strong and stay as positive as you possibly can during this, because this is definitely going to matter as you move forward. I'm sure you all know your state of mind can directly affect your recovery and your health. So do your very best to stay as positive as you can. Good morning, Lanny Slow, and welcome back. She says, good morning, Angie and Thriving Survivors. Yes, thanks, Angie. Like it, like it. All right. Nicole says, I'm with you, Renee. I'm ready to move forward. I feel you. Tommy D says, beautiful Bonnie. What's up, Red Hat? Where are we going on that cruise? Nice. Shannon O'Brien says, Tommy D, yeah, Tommy, you're a cat. She won't let you go so easily. Right, exactly. Yeah. Bonnie says, Emily, absolutely. That is the key to don't let the narc sidetrack you. Must get back to yourself. That's so true. Elizabeth Briggs is here. Hey, Elizabeth, welcome back. She says, hey, Angie, I'm having a hard time finding my self-worth again. I'm still left feeling as though I am not good enough. Can you talk a bit about how to stop seeing yourself through the narcissist's eyes? Absolutely. Yeah, the thing you have to remember is that the narcissist does not, the narcissist sees you through a broken lens, a lens that was sort of created out of sheer need for supply. The narcissist sees you through a lens that allows the narcissist to sort of proverbially stand on your head in order to get supply from you and anyone else in the world. If you're in the process of ending things with a narcissist, the narcissist is trying to see the worst in you. And and there's probably smear campaigning you and everything else. Feeling like you're not good enough is so common. And part of the reason that we feel that way is essentially because we were told this from the very beginning. We were told from the beginning that being who we are is not enough. We were told from the narcissist that, there were a lot of things wrong with us. We weren't attractive. We weren't smart. We weren't this. We weren't that. Whatever they told you to tear you down. And the truth is that a narcissist would never be with someone who was not attractive and smart and worthy, because a narcissist couldn't lower themselves to that point. Instead, they reach up. The fact is that you're actually probably a lot better than your narcissist, and turns out you're too good for your narcissist. And that is painful for the narcissist, and that's why they will never ever admit it. But narcissists are always trying to do better than themselves because secretly they hate themselves. You have to remember that. And I think the biggest, most important thing, Elizabeth, that you need to do is to really try to look at yourself objectively and try to understand. I'm looking at your picture here. You're beautiful. And you need to try to understand that you have the ability to self-validate. You just have to find it again. You have to, it seems a little strange, but you have to almost fall in love with yourself, much like you fell in love with the narcissist or other people in your past. And it's not like, excuse me, it's not like you're going to be treating yourself, you're probably not going to be like sexually attracted to yourself, but you're going to be attracted to yourself in positive ways. And you're going to be able to wrap your head around the idea that you're beautiful and you're intelligent and you're worthy, and that you deserve nothing less than what you're willing to give in a relationship. Chances are, if you've been with a narcissist, you might be an empath, and that probably made you think, well, obviously this person isn't happy with me, so maybe I can change myself into what they want and be what they want me to be, and maybe they'll like me better or they'll love me more. And if you did that like I did, chances are that you recognized eventually that it wasn't you, it was always them. And so if you didn't recognize that, I want you to recognize it now. And I want you to kind of look at things through a new perspective. I want you to ask yourself, if your child or your best friend or your sister or your brother was going through the same deal, somebody that you love very much and care about, what would you say to that person? If, how would you respond if your very best friend in the world would come to you and say, hey, listen, I'm really sad. Everything's terrible. I'm not good enough. What would you say to that person? I would say to that person, you know what? You are good enough. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're intelligent and you're capable. And you deserve to be treated with love and respect. And you deserve to feel safe and peaceful in your home and not scared all the time. So keep that in mind and let me know if you have additional questions about that and if you'd like me to make a video on it or another one. I've already done some. Tommy D says, thank you, Shannon. And Morgan Kenny says, I've been self-healing for almost a year and I believe I'm truly over my ex-narc. And the new guy I'm talking to is amazing. There are no red flags, but he knows how nervous I am and I don't want to ruin it. Okay, that's a really good sign. So if you don't want to ruin it, how long have you guys been talking? I would try not to give him too much about what happened to you in the past, unless you already have, in which case that's irrelevant. But assuming he is not a narcissist, I would suggest that you stay focused on what you want, not what you don't want. And I would suggest that you consider, you know, like a pattern interrupt thing. So come up with a, thing like I use, like, nope, I'm canceling that thought and I'm replacing it with this affirmation of my true divine desire. Or maybe you want to come up with something that says, I'm healthy and happy and moving forward in better relationships. Whatever. Come up with some kind of a sentence, maybe a compound sentence. So you have to think about it for a minute, memorize it. And then anytime you feel those triggers happening, remind yourself of the situation. And if you ever find yourself feeling doubt with this person, make a point of, saying, hey, I'm a little confused. Can you explain XYZ to me? Or, hey, what did you mean when you said this? Because if this person is not a narcissist and they do accidentally trigger you, if you just ask them to explain it or ask them what they meant by that, chances are they will. So keep that in mind. Try to stay focused on, again, what you want, not what you don't want. Anytime you feel the negative thoughts creeping in, if be aware of it. Ask yourself, is this real or is this just me freaking out because I've been abused by a narcissist in the past? If you really don't see any red flags and he knows how nervous you are, If he's the right person, he will not rush you. Take it slow, take your time, and be sure before you proceed to the point that you have a hard time getting out. So don't live with him and don't have babies with him and don't marry him until you've been together, a while, until you feel comfortable and fully secure in the fact that he's not going to treat you with disrespect and without love, things like that. So keep yourself independent until you know those things, till you know for sure that this person will not abuse you. That's my main um, point, I guess. Okay. Bonnie says, Tommy D, yes, red hat, blue hat, guys, gals, all good. We need a cruise. How about that Brad one? Yeah, we're totally going to do that. Yeah, I'm totally going. That sounds so fun. Mo Satcher says, I'm just not caring about the things I need to, though. Like even the basic needs aren't getting met. Oh, I've been there, Mo. Okay, let's take a deep breath together, Mo. Let's talk about that. What are the things that you're not doing? Are you not paying your bills? Are you not feeding yourself? What's going on? There are things you can do. So, one of the things, this is what I'm going to suggest for you, Mo. I'm going to tell you this. Regardless of how you feel every day, before you go to bed at night, write down a list of 3 things that you must do tomorrow. Okay. So, if you need to pay your phone bill and you need to take out the garbage and you need to, uh, you know, go to the grocery store, write those things down and make those your first 3 things you do in the morning. It's called eating the frog, uh, you know, and everything else. You can skate by on certain things while you're going through this, but eat the frog every morning. Do 3 things that you need to do every day, and then if you want to just mourn the rest of the day, do that. Put an end date on this though. Okay, give yourself a couple weeks or a month, no more, to kind of get through the hard part. But no matter what, if you're struggling to get those basic things done, then you must eat the frog every morning. Does that make sense to you? Let me know if you need more help on that. Um, Nicole Blotnicki says, Elizabeth, I totally understand and I feel the same. Yep. Emily Driftwood says, Mo, I too had to rebuild my own identity at one point. It takes time, but it's like dating yourself. That's really true. It's a great analogy, Emily. She says it takes time, but it's like dating yourself, finding out who and what you are, knowing your boundaries, and being who you are unapologetically. And that is definitely what it's about. You've got to figure out a way, excuse me, to be unapologetically yourself. You know, um, you have to get to the point that if somebody criticizes you, that you can just literally go, I am unapologetically myself. Okay, my husband keeps calling my phone, you guys, and I can't text him back because he's on a call. So, I mean, he left his phone here, so I'm gonna have to wrap up here in a second. Um, let's see. Wow. Okay, Andrea, that sucks. She says my 4-year-old's dad keeps texting. Prayers are with you and your daughter. This is the same man who told me not to talk about God. Ugh. Still hasn't asked to see his son. What an ass. Shannon says, I'm so sorry, Andrea. Just try to ignore him and don't give him any of your energy. You've got enough going on right now. Shannon says, I saw this coffee cup at the grocery store yesterday. It had a queen's crown on it. It was the size of a bathtub. Thought of you. Well, thank you, my love. That's great. Stacy the Sparkling Star says, my dad wants to meet and talk about what's bothering me after no contact, minimal contact this past year. I do want to go for Christmas because my brother with special needs lives with him. I wrote something. I want to see your opinion, Angie, on what I wrote. Okay, you can send me the link in on Facebook and I'll take a look at it. Good, Ashley, she's blocked on all accounts. Very good. Hey Sheila, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, Freedom Lee. Freedom Lee says, thankful to be alive and staying away from the ex-narc. Thankful for you, Angie, your videos, and I'll be listening to help me through that day. I'll be alone but grateful cooking for daughter. That is excellent. I'm sorry about the alone part, but grateful is important, and I'm glad you're cooking for your daughter. Malta says, good morning, Sheila. Emily says, Bonnie, yep, so true. Can't let the narc identity get all of our identities, right? Takes time, though. Takes patience. All that stuff. And it's good. All good and okay, isn't it? I don't mind spending time to learn about me. It's time for me now, for all of us on here. Absolutely. All right, you guys, I'm really sorry. I'm going to wrap up right now, but don't forget it's Tuesday. So I will be here at 1 p.m. Central Time-ish. Those of you who are on my list, absolutely. Wait a minute. I'm going to just answer one more question because I'm running out of time. Oh, DT says, good morning. I'm on week 3, no contact. And I just want to say I would not have made it this far without all of the information you put out. Every question I've had, you already had a video on it. Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you, DT. I appreciate you. Jacob Lucero says, hey, Angie, I come from a narcissistic family and I had to move state to get away to, and somehow they found out where I live and keep trying to contact me. How can I handle this issue with these people? Jacob, you might just have to say, look, stop contacting me. I had to do that. I had to say, because I kept getting the emails and the little crap. And I finally said, look, I don't want to talk to you. Stop contacting me. And it's difficult, but if they continue to harass you, say, this is harassment. Stop contacting me. I'll be forced to get a protection order. You have to be kind of dry. I would not speak to them, and even on the phone, I would make sure to do it in writing, email or text if necessary. And otherwise I would block them so you just don't hear from them anymore. If they show up at your house, I think you're within your rights to call the police, but I would definitely make sure that you tell them in writing. Email or text is enough to start with. And then I would go ahead and get yourself a protection order if they actually harass you at your home. Nadia says, X still has FaceTime calls with our daughter, but I have to force her to talk to him. It's sad but true. Also, he has been naked in the video in front of her and lied to her that he wasn't. That's bizarre. Wow. All right. Good morning, Adrian. And happy Turkey Day, everybody. Bonnie says, cool cup, Shannon. Jamie V sent Angie a coffee mug once. Yeah, she sure did. Oh, they're gonna send me a pool-sized coffee mug for Christmas. That's awesome. He said, you swim, Ange? I do. Michaela says, good morning. My question is, when will the sadness stop? Most days I'm okay, but with the holidays coming up, I was super sad yesterday and just broke down crying after the second I walked through the door. I totally understand. I do. And you know what? It's a process. But keep your chin up. Try to stay focused on what you want, not what you don't want. And remember, when you're feeling the worst, that's when it's the most important to think of things you're grateful for. Even if that just means I'm grateful I'm breathing. I'm grateful that I'm not dealing with narcissists anymore. I'm grateful I'm not, that I have freedom. I can do this, this, and this. I'm grateful that I have a home to come home to, a job to work, to pay my bills, whatever it is. Try to stay focused on what you want, not what you don't want. And if you need to cry, Michaela, it's okay. Go ahead and cry, honey. Just don't cry forever. You know what I'm saying? Let out your emotions because you have spent so long being all tightened up in this ball of I'm not allowed to have emotions that you sometimes have to kind of reopen yourself to that. So let it come, let the sad come, and then try to move forward. Try to stay focused on what you want and not what you don't want. It's very important in recovery. All right, guys. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to go because my husband has called me twice during this call, and I want to make sure that he's okay. So I know his phone is sitting on his nightstand. He forgot it this morning, so I'm going to let you go. But I will be back here at 1 p.m. Central-ish, and I'll probably be here for at least an hour at that time, if not a little more, okay? Hugs, love, and I will see you guys very soon if you're available for our next session. And those of you who are on my list will receive a text from me 5 minutes before I go live, as usual. Have a lovely day. See you soon.